Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and in my hands is one of the only coins in the world where the fake is worth way more than what the coin was supposed to be. And there's a huge backstory behind it. This one is a 1944 nickel, but it's not silver. It's called a Henning nickel, and what a lot of people don't know is that the story is way more than a few fake 1944 nickels. There's all sorts of different dates, a lot of backstory, and it's one of the great mysteries of the coin world. So let's dive right in. I've got a presentation, and I'll also be kind of showing you different photos, and I'll also do a kind of close-up zoom of the coin that's in my hand. Just so much to learn about these coins. Let's get right into it. And I'm just going to do more of a quick segment here. This is a 1944 Henning nickel. Thank you so much to John who sent this one to me. But we take a look at the back. It should be a war nickel with a mint mark over Monticello, but instead it's not there, and that was what the downfall was of the counterfeiter. So you can also see some of the markers. The R kind of is sunken or depressed. There's a little bit of a die crack there going through the U and the S from Monticello. But for the values and again that history, let's head over to the presentation. And we only have one slide today because there's not great photos for full illustration, but there's a lot more info than what's on the screen. So we're going to go back to 1939 to start us off, when Francis Leroy Henning, a New Jersey man who is the namesake and the producer of these nickels, was actually arrested for faking dollar bills. Over the course of his counterfeiting career, he had made $5 bills, quarters, dimes, half dollars, so it's kind of crazy to think how basic of an error that pretty much caused him to get caught in terms of making these 1944 nickels with no mint mark. He made several 100,000 of these coins and was slowly returning them at different banks in rolls, and people were a little bit suspicious, but it was really some coin collectors who were able to observe that they were these fake nickels with no mint mark, and that's kind of what indirectly led to him getting caught. Like I said, he made several 100,000 of these, and when people were on his trail, he went and dumped a bunch of them in rivers. People have now kind of secretly searched for them and tried to pick them up because, as you can see, their values are reasonably significant. For the 1944, they're between $50 and $150, and then a recent eBay sale for a 1939 one in pretty worn shape actually sold for $500. And I think that distinction is because it's so obvious on the 1944 what is a Henning nickel and what isn't. Again, there should be a prominent mint mark above the Monticello, a P, a D, or an S, but it's just not there. And instead, in terms of some of these markers, there's the low spot on the R on the reverse, which I'm kind of pointing to, and it's present in the 1939, but there's not necessarily always that low spot. The dates include 1939, 44, 46, 47, and 53. And they also weigh 5.4 grams as opposed to around 5 grams, which is another notable difference. They're too heavy. I can't say that I'm an expert. I haven't found these in change myself, but the other thing is that in an interview after his arrest, Henning claimed to have made 6 nickel reverse and obverse dies, meaning there's actually another counterfeit nickel, another date out there. There's a larger book called The Counterfeit 1944 Jefferson Nickel by Dwight Stuckey that apparently can be borrowed by or from the ANA in Colorado Spring, and they have an online website where you can rent the book and pay for shipping, I think. But anyways, the reverse die crack is a later error that can be seen on some of the 1939 and 1944, but not always all of them. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've got. He ended up getting 6 years in prison and was fined $5,000. So, that was a huge sum back then. Remember that nickels, again, weren't insignificant. Gasoline was 25 cents a gallon. Houses were $12,000. So consistently getting $2 or $4 or, the sum of money that 100,000 of these coins would have represented would have been pretty huge. He was incurring a fair amount of cost, apparently. Like, he was not making 5 cents for each coin because of the press that he had and all of the metal and that sort of thing. But basically the takeaway is it's a really cool coin, one of the only ones where the counterfeit is so valuable, and I'm looking forward to hearing any more information you may know in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and get in touch with me on my website, treasuretown.yt.com, Facebook, Treasuretown, Instagram @TreasuretownYT, or Twitter @Treasuretown_YT, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my future vids.